everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean, this is In The Mixer, episode 83 of our FC Isle of Man series. Wherever in the world you're watching from, I hope you're having a wonderful day. It's kind of a weird position at the moment, it's still very early on in the season. We're kind of a yo-yo team. That would usually be a big issue, except the rest of the division seems to be having the same problem as well. I'm not going to waste any time, we're going to jump straight in, I'll show you guys what I mean. So as you guys can see here, we're currently sitting in 6th spot. 12 games played, we've had 6 wins, 2 draws and 4 defeats in that time. There is no team that is currently running away with it. Everybody is sitting between 23 points and about 18 points. From 1st all the way down to 14th, there's only 5 points separating everybody. So like we're dropping down divisions, we're going up. If you follow like the little curve here, it's very much a yo-yo shape. We're down for a bit, we're back up for a bit. And we put a nice little run in staying in the top few positions. But then last time out, randomly, for no reason at all, we lost 4-1 to Swansea. I don't know where that came from. Of course, in the last episode, lost 2-1 to Birmingham. Frustrating, probably could have won that game if we played it again today. Beat Millwall 1-0 in a good result. Beat Aston Villa 2-1 in a fantastic performance from the side. Their goal was very, very good. A guy who I think is valued about £22.5 million. A decent goal from him. We drew 2-2 with Fulham in kind of a topsy-turvy game. They pulled one back very late on, which was frustrating, given that we were the better side. I dropped us back from being attacking to positive, and I think that kind of hurt us a little bit, invited too much pressure in the last half an hour. And then Swansea just randomly beat the shit out of us. All of these goals came from set pieces. So I've tweaked our set piece set up a little bit. Sydney Tavares is a player who over the last couple of years has scored against us I think about 5 times in the last 2 seasons, which is very frustrating. He just seems to be a bogey player for us. We did get one back through an own goal, which was out of nothing, but we do have a chance to jump back in. It wouldn't surprise me if we turned around and managed to get 2 good results. We do have a good opportunity playing Huddersfield, who are down in 22nd, and Derby, who are in 21st. Having said that, famous last words, knowing the way the Football Manager magic works sometimes, we're probably going to get beaten by both of them. It'll be their first wins for the season, most likely. But if we can get 6 points, we could very easily finish this episode at top of the division. For a brief moment, for a brief 10-minute period, we were top of the league a couple of games ago. But then obviously other results came through. Other teams are doing quite well, it must be said. And our inability to kind of put teams away when we should be in winning scenarios has been frustrating. The 4-1 defeat against Swansea, that's not a true gauge of how competitive we've been. I think it was very much a scoreline blown out of proportion. We are still in the playoff positions, which is great. We are still aiming for a top 10 finish. That's kind of our target. The board thinks avoid relegation, but I think top 10 is more than capable. If we're going to get top 10, we might as well go for playoffs at the same time. The squad itself is maturing at a relatively good clip. I spoke about it in the last episode, how a good few of the players are kind of starting to make good on some of their potential. There are others that are struggling. Charlie Davies not quite being there at the minute. Madrigal's been quite good off the bench. I'm going to give him a start today to see how he goes. But there's also players that are starting to get upset. Dave Rowley wants a new contract. I don't want to give him one. He's 21. He's already 22. He's got another year on his deal left already. He's not playing, so I don't know why he would want a new deal. Chris Granger is promised that I'd sell him if we got 500k as an offer. No one's come in for it, but he still seems quite upset. And a couple of other team talks from the last few weeks haven't gone quite as well. So, that's the down part. The good part is that we are still in the playoff positions and we do have a great opportunity to get 6 points against these 2 lower division sides. I'd desperately like to get it as well. Get that monkey off our back for this season in the championship. But as we know, anything can happen when you reload the game. Anything can happen once you restart a save again. This is the lineup that we're going with. Coops in goal. Escobar, who's now playing as a covering central defender, alongside Garasinger, who wears the captain's armband today with the Wolf dropping from the starting lineup. Curse and Trueblood as the 2 fullbacks. Curse has been struggling a little bit, but Trueblood has been magnificent all season. Hosseini been the highest average rated player that we've got. He'll play alongside Madrigal, who plays a central midfielder on support. I want to get that linking role, dropping the base of midfield and carrying the ball up to the front 4. Benezi, of course, plays at the 10. Ramirez on the left wing, our leading assist creator for the season so far. Davies, who's struggling quite a bit at right wing at the moment. And Vargas, also quite a few assists so far. Interestingly, we don't have an out-and-out scorer in the lineup. There's about 5 players that are all on 2 goals apiece so far this season. Maybe one of the areas that we might look to in January is this right wing spot and potentially someone up front to be a proper pressing forward. That's the role I really think is going to complement the shape and the structure as best as we can. Looking at Huddersfield, they've got a very interesting lineup. They've got Aaron Ramsdale, who's a very good goalkeeper. If you watched our series last week, he was our 3rd choice England goalkeeper. 31 years of age now, came through at Bournemouth, played a fair amount there as well, and has been at Huddersfield for a good few years in both the Premier League and now the Championship as well. They've got Daniele Rugani playing at 35 years of age, still going. He came back over to Olympique Marseille, and then Tottenham, and then Lyon, and then Wolves, and then Huddersfield. So he's been around a couple of different divisions throughout the course of the seasons, but he's quite good as a young defender in the early parts of the game. They got Jastrzębski, a 29-year-old Polish winger on the left-hand side. They picked up from Hertha Berlin a couple of seasons ago. He looks quite decent as well. And leading the line up top, their leading assist creator, George Skeppel, 25-year-old English player, came through the academy at Burnley before going to Brighton. He looks fairly solid. Nothing spectacular, just solid. But they've got a good lineup, and having played Premier League football over the last couple of years, I'd expect Huddersfield to actually be pretty decent as well. I'm going to passionately tell everyone, or assertively tell everyone, I expect to see a much better performance from you tonight, and hopefully we can pick ourselves back up after that 4-1 defeat to Swansea and get 3 points to set this episode off in the right direction. We are attacking from the off, we are playing at home, we are playing a lower division or a lower side in the division. I want to go after it, I want to get the goals, I want to boost our goal difference, and I want to jump up the table as much as we possibly can. First highlight of the game, it's going to start with a throw into Huddersfield. Back to Regani at centre-back. Now all the way back to Ramsdale in goal. Just get back in our shape, boys. He's gone long. They've knocked down quite well. Meakin in midfield plays it back to Sam. Donan Tuoni, I think was his name. Good header there from Greisinger, who's already picked up an early yellow. And ball over the top to Vargas. If he can get there first, he can indeed see only his second goal of the season, and he started most of the games for us up front. I think that's one of the issues we're having at the moment. We just don't have that proper, finishing striker to make the most of our opportunities. Who knows how some of those draws, how some of those defeats would have gone if we had a Henry Doran type, smashing goals in for fun. But, we're trying to develop players this year. That's not necessarily the focus. He's going to continue getting better, and that's an excellent finish to get his second of the season. Throwing here on the right for Huddersfield, similar to where the last goal started from. Ramirez does well to close down Matheson. Back across. He moves into midfield and goes back to Regani, who looks over right to lure the overlapping fullback. Just stand him up, boys. Don't do anything silly. Headed back into midfield. Sam's going to recover for Huddersfield. Now Meakin. Good little reverse pass. They don't seem too willing to run in behind at the moment, but Sam's made the movement, the overlapping fullback. Davies recovers possession and clears into the corner. Regani should recover the ball. And we nearly win it back there, but Lahage has kept possession and plays it across. It's a long ball forward from the centre-back. Jastrzębski gets into the box, cuts it back towards Skeppel. He's got the header across, thankfully just over the crossbar. So still a danger from Huddersfield there. I wouldn't say it was good play or that they tore us apart or anything, but they definitely got the ball into the box in a dangerous area. All right, half-time, not that many highlights. 5 shots, 3 on target, 45% possession for us. They've also had 5 shots, but only 1 on target and 55% of the ball. Assertively, I'm going to say happy with the performance so far. Keep it up. I just want to keep morale up as much as possible. I think the more I use that don't get complacent shout, the less likely it is that we keep a clean sheet in the second half. First highlight of the second half, ball with Matheson here. Closed down well by Ramirez. Law, all the way back to Regani. He looks for the ball in the corner. That seems to be a continued ball that they're playing. Finn at the top of the box. Back to Lahage. Strike from distance, wasn't far away from far post. But that centre-back ball to the overlapping fullback seems to be quite one that they're looking... Quite one, that's terrible English. Seems to be one that they're looking for quite often. Law with possession here. Ball over the top for Lahage. Plays it into Skeppel, and good save from Kubis. Does quite well getting himself behind the ball. It was a tame effort at goal though. Right, getting towards the hour mark, and Charlie Davies is really struggling. We're going to bring Dorbron on the right-hand side. Benezi hasn't had a great game either, but I might have some faith in him and leave him out there for a little bit longer. Ramirez struggling, but he looked all right in the highlights as well, and Curse is just really struggling for form at the minute. We might play Ashley Barry out there and play him as a wing-back on defend to see if he can do that role for us. Where else could I potentially look to bring a player on? Madrigal hasn't had a bad game. Hussein hasn't had a great game either. Maybe we'll bring on the Wolf just to try and shore things up for the last little bit here. I'm going to stay on attacking just because I've learnt my lesson from going and inviting too much pressure going to positive last time. We're going to use our Get Creative shout. Throwing here, left-hand side for Huddersfield. Dorbers won the ball back and it's towards the Vargas, but he doesn't win it out against the defence. Again, that centre-back ball to the left winger, causing some issues. Jastrzębski gets his ball across, but Kubis does well to save and hold, and the highlight comes to an end. We just need to get our foot on the ball here. I'm wondering if maybe with 15 minutes to go, that's a safer environment to go back to positive. We'll give that a whirl now, see if we can't defend this 1-0 margin. We're going to use our demand more shout as well. Hopefully give everyone some focus, but no one seems to have responded to the shout. 3 minutes to be added on here. We haven't had a highlight of our own in the second half. 3 of the back 4 on yellow cards, but thankfully we make our way through. Referee calls full time. 1-0 isn't the way that I would expect to beat one of the worst teams in the division, but 11 shots, 9 on target, 48% possession. Just a shame, 9 shots on target when you can't convert a bit more than 1 goal. 11 shots, 5 on target, 52% possession for Huddersfield. Well done, lads. Good win for us. I just want to keep morale up as high as possible. But is it just that we don't have like a proper clinical finisher playing up front? Is that our biggest issue? That win does see us stay in the top 6. 23 points, only 2 points off top spot, Ipswich currently there. Blackburn dropped points that last time out as well. Portsmouth, West Brom, Aston Villa also in amongst those sides. But I think what kills us at the moment is our goal difference is only +1. We need to try and improve that as much as we can. We just seem to scrape by in the games that we win. DeVargas gets the Man of the Match award, which is great to see. We'll send an assistant, and he ends a goal drought of previously 11 hours of competitive football, which I hadn't really been aware of going into that game. Looking forward to the next match. It's only in 4 days. I'm going to give everyone a rest just because most of these players are also playing youth international football. They're not getting a lot of a break. And the other one we'll make is that Tyrone Taylor will come in as the left-sided centre-back because Greising is going to be suspended for the next match. Demir Mance can jump on the bench because he can play on both sides when needed. We're going to be away from home in the next one, so I'm just going to put everyone in their preferred roles, I think, and also set them just to be positive in this one. We can move that and go to attacking if we are having trouble scoring the goal, but I think we want to get a little bit more stability in our structure when we play away from home. Magic converting, we're going to jump forward, look at the two lineups now. Right, not the usual screen that we come back to, but we have had a knock-in during the week. Benitez picked up, I think, like a torn pec or something like that, or a strained pectoral muscle. So I'm going to drop him out, and instead of bringing in Wademan at the 10, I'm going to try and go to 2 up top and just see how it goes. So it's an older school 4-4-2, very similar to one of the older structures and shapes that we used to play. We know that Davies has struggled at right wing. Dorber is more suited to playing a little bit further back. Ramirez can do both. So we're just going to play DeVargas, I think, as like a deep lying forward and play these wingers a little bit further back to try and get the most out of them. And let's just see how this goes. Worst case scenario, we've got players on the bench to revert to the regular shape and structure, but I just kind of want to see what mixing it up is going to be like. It's our first real opportunity to try and get 6 points in an episode. Maybe if we go to something like a little bit more old school, a little bit more familiar, and 2 guys up top trying to find finishes, we might be able to get the victory. They won't see it coming for sure. They're playing like a 4-3-3, looks relatively solid. Champion leading the line up top is their highest average rated player so far, 25-year-old Irish international, pressing forward on attack. He looks solid, not spectacular. Physically, he's quite good though. Radikic on the left wing, a Serbian youth international. He also usually plays up front. 17 dribbling is one that's jumping out at me immediately. He looks fairly solid, and they're leading assist maker for the season. Gallagher in midfield. Ex-Chelsea junior, looks like he's also played at Charlton, according to the Facepack, been at Basel, Cardiff, Derby, so he's got Premier League experience at the same time. So some decent players there, but they are down towards the bottom of the division at the moment. Assertively, we're going to say, great opportunity to show the media have been right to back you up. And let's see if this little tactical tweak can kind of resolve some of our yo-yo behaviour. Corner here to be taken by Dorber. First highlight of the game. Go short to Ramirez. Hosseini at the top of the box. Square to Madrigal, and he finds the finish. That's why we're playing that central midfielder on that support duty at the moment, just to try and get some extra bodies in the box from midfield. And it's a Paul Scholes-esque run from the young Costa Rican, I think he is. As he arrives in the box late, unmarked, finds the finish first time, just side foots that one home. It's a wonderful effort, and as the Derby defence collapsed, we had that space to try and arrive into the box. It would see us jump up into third spot. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves though. Long ball forward here. It's flicked on again. Dorber should recover, who's been busy in the first highlights. Trueblood with a wonderful ball over the top, and Raphael just had to get that one on target. It would have been a goal for sure. Just blazes over on his own 18 yards out. Throw in here, left-hand side. This has been sort of an improved performance on the last time out. We did lose the ball out there, but Taylor should recover and play forward to Curse. Now Hosseini, back to Madrigal. Hosseini can switch out to the right-hand side instead. They played a 1-2 between DeVargas and Raphael. Hutchings recovers the ball for Derby, but his clearance is poor. Trueblood will recover. Plays into Hosseini, who searches out to the ball to the right-hand side with Dorber. Trueblood will recover. The cross was shut down by the defence. Cut back to Hosseini, top of the box. Trueblood and Hosseini just exchanging passes. Now they bring Dorber into it. Finds DeVargas on the angle, and he finds the finish. A wonderful goal for his 3rd goal of the season. And 2nd in 2 games. So maybe we just needed to try and find this little tactical tweak here just to get the most out of the side as they're currently lining up. It's good work here from Hosseini and Dorber as well, to be fair. Nice little reverse pass, finds DeVargas, and keeper should have done better. I'd be furious if that happened at the other end, but I'll take it as far as being 2-0 up. 10 minutes to go in the half. We're just going to use our demand more shout just to give everyone some focus. It's not quite working at the moment. We're just struggling to click with our shouts and using them with the team. They'll get used to it over time, but I'd love if that would hurry up a bit. First highlight here for Derby, backstick ball towards Radikic, and thankfully the header just over the crossbar. 2 minutes to be added on here at the end of the first half. We're through that now, and the referee calls half-time. We've had 4 shots, 2 on target, 59% of the ball. Derby have had 3 shots, 1 on target, 41% possession. A good performance away from home. I'm going to say very pleased with the result and your performance so far, guys. Keep it going. Everyone responds positively. But as we know, complacency in any team in this game is pretty easy to come by. We've lost the ball out there to Gordon. Radikic now has time to get his head up. Dorber sends him backwards, does quite well with the press. Nodder, back to Gordon again. Just keep up the ball, guys. Well, one back by Hosseini, who gets the strike away. Najia with a good save in the Derby goal. We'll have a corner if it's going to come through to us in this highlight. It's going to be taken by Dorber now. He can go direct in towards near post. It managed to hit the deck there before Awuso scrambled it away. And a good clearance as well. He set Radukic on the left-hand wing. Hosseini with a wonderful recovery challenge and wins the ball back effectively. Corner here again. Dorber to take. 54 minutes played. Again, he goes direct in. There's players in and about there, and we managed to pinball that around. I don't know how we've kept that out. Escobar nearly put it home, and somehow their keepers kept it off the line, and the follow-up, Raphael was offside for. Through an hour now, so let's have a quick look at some subs. We might want to try and shore things up here. Raphael has struggled, so we might go back to the regular structure, push these wingers on a little bit. I'll leave Dorber a little bit deeper, but let's drop Raphael off and bring Wademan on to play as an advanced playmaker on attack. He hasn't had that many appearances so far this season. We'll give him an opportunity. Curse has a yellow card. Again, he just can't seem to stay out of trouble at the moment and put good runs together. So we'll bring on Demir Mance as well. And assertively, I'm going to say I've got faith in you boys. Let's go out and see if we can get a third goal, because that would be a massive boost to our goal difference that we desperately need at the moment. Throw in here, right-hand side, Trueblood finds Wademan. Dorber, who's had a good game to be fair. The header away by the Derby defence sets Sterling on his way. Someone stand him up, boys. Don't overcommit. Just stand. Hit deep ball across. Escobar with a good header, but it's going to fall to Sterling again. Mance recovers. Ramirez loses out to Gallagher at the top of the box. We just can't seem to get it away at the moment. Oh, he's overcommitted in the challenge there. Ball to Champion, front post. Thankfully, save was straight at Kubis, and he does well to push that one out for the corner. Gordon with the ball in. Good header away from Escobar. He's decent out of the air, the young man. And Rubio, thankfully, takes a stupid touch to give us back possession. Deep throw in. It's going to continue from that highlight. Back to Trueblood. Worked across to Madrigal. Ball over the shoulder now for De Vargas. He's on his own and goal side. He does quite well to draw a good save out of Najia. Out for the corner kick. Going to use our demand Morsh out here as well. Ramirez to take the corner. Goes near post. Rubio with the header away. We've set Daniels away again. We just keep flicking on these headers, and it keeps giving possession back to Derby. Thankfully, again, Hosseini with a lovely challenge, and the highlight comes to an end. Left wing now, throw in to set us up. Mance plays it to Madrigal. Wademan loses out to Gallagher. And he looks for a long ball over the top to Champion, who has gotten goal side. Just stand him up, boys. Kubis does well to come out and save, pushing that one over the crossbar. So Derby put us under pressure here in the second half. Header away by Champion. Back to him again at the top of the box. Out wide left to Gordon. And Kubis does well, comes out and claims the cross. Ball forward here from Mance. The Derby defence will tidy up. Hutchings looks for a ball over the top. Sterling's gotten goal side again. I don't think it's Raheem Sterling, but cut back to Champion. Thankfully, he hasn't had his shooting boots on today. He's had 3 or 4 opportunities in the second half alone. Kubis has done tremendously well to recover, but he's given away possession there. Sterling on the right-hand side. Squares it up to Champion, and again straight at Kubis. They must be incredibly frustrated, the Derby coaching team and fans watching this one. Dorber to Madrigal. We've got one more man over if we can find him. Escobar, look out left. Look out left, boys. We've sent it out that way now to Ramirez. But the players have gotten out of the box. Backstick runner is Dorber, and all he had to do was get that on target. He's had a good game, Dorber. He would have deserved the goal. 4 minutes to be added on. We're through most of that now, and I think the referee's going to call full time. So a good performance. A 2-0 victory away from home to Derby. They had 11 shots, 7 on target, 39% possession. A lot of those shots are coming towards that last 10, 15 minutes. We had 18 shots, 6 on target, 61% possession. And I'm going to say, a good win, boys. Well done. No need to get down on anybody. We had to get through 2 teams towards the bottom of our division, but we've come away with 6 points. We finally got that monkey off our back in the episode. Sees us go to 4th spot in the division on 26 points. We're only 1 point off top spot, but if you look at the other teams around us here, 27, 26, 25 points, they're all on much larger goal differences. When we're winning games, we're just scraping past teams at the moment, not really putting to anyone to the sword. I didn't realise Derby didn't have a manager, which is an interesting one to see. And Hosseini with an 8.8 match rating gets the Man of the Match award. We'll give him a bit of praise for his 1 assist as well. He's had a very good season so far. Looking forward at the schedule, we've got Blackburn coming up, who are currently top spot. That'll be a big one. We'll play that off screen. And then Portsmouth, who are currently in 2nd. So that's very interesting that we've got both those sides back to back. I think we'll come back though and do Rochdale and Sheffield Wednesday. I think doing them towards the end of the month is positioning us better at the moment. Or potentially maybe we come straight back, do the 2 games against the top of the table sides. Maybe I'll just go and record those immediately right now. And then we come back, have a bigger gap between there and our game in December, which will close out the calendar year. I think that's what we'll do. Why not? So episode 83 done and dusted. We are starting to motor along in the championship season. Tomorrow's episode will be obviously a huge one, playing the team in first and the team in second. We're currently sitting in fourth, so potentially we could end that episode towards the top of the division, or we could drop out of the playoff positions entirely. That's how tight the league is at the moment. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it tremendously. You can like this video if you want to please that YouTube algorithm. You can subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all our future videos. You can check the links out just over on that side for our regular Sunday night Twitch streams, for all of our interactions on Twitter, which is always the best place to reach out to me directly as well. But more than anything, thanks for watching. I've been Sean, and I'll see you all again in the mixer.